Hello there, Pokemon fans. Welcome to another video. If you're a long time watcher, you might notice that I haven't uploaded anything for a while. Just haven't really felt like doing it. I wanted to take a bit of time off and reflect and potentially do something completely different. And here we are, something completely different, something that I think I would rather do as well, which is record and then commentate on actual live Pokemon card matches. Here we have Ben, who is on the left, and Dave, of course, on the right, playing final match, final round of their set from our local Team Challenge qualifier. Now, a bit of context here. So Ben is currently on a 1-1. Dave is on a 2-0. For some reason, the other 2-0 player paired up with myself. I was 1-1 also. I defeated that player, meaning that there were two of us in a 2-1 position, Ben in a 1-1 position, Dave in a 2-0 position. Well, I won't get into the outcome obviously yet, but that is just a little bit of a setup of where we are. And this is their final game, of course, because I was playing, I wasn't there to record the whole set, so you're only going to get this last game. Yeah, without further ado, let's dive into it. So we can see here that Ben is starting with an Arceus, Dave is starting with the Radiant Greninja active and the Palkia V on the bench. It looks like Dave is going first, and it's going to be quick balling. Just deciding what to discard, discarding the Palkia. Searching the deck here. I'm just going to mute that audio because I don't want that getting involved. There we go. Yeah, I didn't want the audio from this actually getting involved. So you've actually quick ball discarded a Palkia V to play a Sobble, benched another Palkia V, and then used Radiant Greninja's concealed cards to draw two cards from the deck, discarding that Water Energy, and passing over to Ben. Ben draws a card, holds his hand the wrong way up, standard. Ben, very new to the game, only started this year. There's a chorus experiment there. I mean, it's been a few months actually of him playing. Very used to the chorus experiment. Was very excited for the Lost Zone engine when it came out. Big fan of Giratina. Played Giratina in the last qualifier. This time opting, of course, to play Arceus V-Star. And I'll spoil the surprise for you. He's playing it with Goodra V-Star. And that is a quick ball discarding the Roxanne. Can be searching deck for that Goodra V. Just having a quick glance through the deck. Okay, cool. One look through the deck. I respect that. You can see here at the bottom of the screen, so the chorus experiment was lost zoning the Arceus V and the boss's orders there. Attaches what looks like a metal energy and a big charm to the Arceus V and passes over. Unfortunate for Ben not to get the double turbo energy to power up turn 1. That is the ideal turn to start for an Arceus deck. Dave drawing in, Ben checking a deck box. There's the Palkia V-Star onto the benched Palkia. There is the Drizzle as well, going to be shady dealings, of course. Ben getting out the V-Star counter. A little bit late, Ben. third game of the set. A little bit late, but hey ho, better late than never. Better late than never. So both players, Ben and Dave, you could probably describe them as local level, both in regards to how long they've been playing and their experience. Not to say that they won't ever branch out and go further. Of course, one of these two will be in the Team Challenge, which is an international level competition. Looks like the Drizzle got us the Temple of Sinnoh. Got Temple of Sinnoh for Dave, I should say. Looking to block the double turbo energy at some point in the game. There it is, straight down, of course. And that looks like Irida being played here, getting Dave a water energy and a trainer. There is the Capacious Bucket. Oh, sorry, excuse me, water Pokemon and a trainer, of course. So it's going to be Capacious Bucket. I mean, in a way, I was right. It is going to get water energy, of course, with Capacious Bucket. There's the Sobble. No point in shuffling the deck. Going to go straight back in with the Capacious Bucket. Time-wise, I don't believe it was too much of a factor here in this tournament. I don't recall ever being in a position where time was ever sort of being called as a, it was. I mean, it probably was. I mean, you could probably see my finger there in the top corner. To apologise. Was handy camming this. But yeah, and again, I don't believe time was too big of a factor in this set. Energy attachment for turn, I believe for Dave on the active Radiant Greninja. Concealed cards. Now, for me personally, I quite like this camera position just because I think there's a certain enjoyment into not actually knowing what they've got in their hand. Just seeing what is on the board, what is being played at any one time. That to me is like the kind of more raw, organic version of just watching people playing a Pokemon card match, rather than you sort of like in your head backseat driving their game, if you know what I mean. It's like a bit of thought for Dave with his Arsenal top on. Sporting his brand new shiny wedding ring. Congratulations to Dave. Married this year. Looks like it's going to be a retreat for the Radiant Greninja. Okay, so yeah, so this is one of those situations where he's doing like three things at once. So he's retreating Radiant Greninja, and then he's also using the V-Star power. Yeah, he just kind of ordered that. Not the best. So he's putting 2 on the Palkia and 1 on the benched Palkia V. Not yet flipped over the V-Star counter, but we can always keep track of that. Looks like a Zigzagoon ping on the Goodra. Ben is doing a bit of quick maths. 9 plus 10. And that is slapping. I should have probably done the maths myself. 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160. 180 damage, of course. 180 damage on the Arceus. And that is an Avery. Okay, so what's happened there is he has played the Avery, but Dave was talking about options. And then so Ben has taken the Avery out of the discard pile and just shown Dave that he's playing the Avery. And now Dave will have to discard 2 of his bench Pokemon while Ben draws 3. And it looks like he's drawn into the Arceus V-Star. Well, he might. Okay, Ben's picked up on the V-Star counter there. Well done, Ben. He either drew into the Arceus V-Star. I assume he did, just from the order that he played it. There's like we said before, new player, so very eager to get the double turbo. Although, as Ben rightly does say here, I think it's pretty obvious I'm playing it. Just having a little sip of coffee. If you can hear a slurp, there is the double turbo. And bumping the Temple of Sinnoh with the Crystal Cave. Going to be using an Ultra Ball, discarding a Water Energy. And another Arceus V-Star. Okay, so did Ben draw 2 Arceus V-Stars off of the Avery? Oh, and I believe, okay, he's going straight into the Trinity Nova attack for 180 damage. And Metal, Water, Metal. We can safely assume, that Goodra is going to be the recipient of those 3 energy. Very nice. Now we don't have the lists for you to view at home. Just gonna have to enjoy the game as it is, I'm afraid. Quick ball discarding that oh so useless VIP battle VIP pass. Gonna be searching depth for a basic Pokemon. It is of course the Sobble. So the Avery potentially has set Dave back a little bit in regards to what you can do with Scoop Up Nets, Drizzles, and Inteleons. He can no longer Scoop Up Net the Drizzle and get another Shady Dealings. Because the previous Drizzle, of course, was discarded by the Avery. So nice play from Ben. Good idea from Ben actually putting the Avery into the discard into the deck. So Ben, although he's new, he has some Magic experience, and I believe he has some Yu-Gi-Oh experience as well. So yeah, not completely new to card games. And here is the Shady Dealings Inteleon. Going to get 2 trainers out of the discard pile. Just checking the hand again there. Apologies once again for the handycam wobbliness. If you put this on 1.5 speed, I'm sure it'll give you seasickness. It looks like he's getting the choice belt. So what was he doing before? 180. So that would put Palkia up to 210, which is a big old chunk of damage. And an Evolution Incense. So not shuffling the deck yet. Looks like he's probably going to go straight back in. Before he does so, though, attaching the choice belt to the benched Palkia V. Readying up for his next attacker. There is the Palkia V-Star promo, of course. Different artwork there. Showcasing, well, Pokemon finally eventually actually made Palkia V slightly more affordable for everyone. I still don't have any though. I still have none. If only Nintendo or Pokemon sold every card just for a $5. Imagine that. They're just checking his discard pile there. Probably calculating in his head about what he's doing. Oh, I believe... Okay, there's an reader. Ben, looking to check the phone. I just sort of say, "Hey, man, no, don't do that. Don't check your phone in the middle of a tournament game, bro." No, I wasn't. Of course, I wasn't a judge. But like I said, local tournament. Um, you will see later on, not as strict as it could have been with Dave shuffling his deck and then deciding, "Oh wait, actually, sorry. Oh, okay, yeah, okay." So he shuffled his deck and then decided, "What am I doing? I need to play Capacious Bucket." Easy done. Easy done. Cards back to the hand there. And it looks like concealed cards for one of those water energy go straight into the discard pile. Straight down the drain with that one. Pun intended there. For anyone wondering, I do believe that Ben is playing a Radiant Pokemon. He's playing the Radiant Gardevoir. You will have seen there that there was a Subspace Swell knockout on the active Arceus. And that's your first two prizes of the day. Crystal Cave being bumped. Dave sort of being, oh, wait, is that yours or mine? That's yours. For a Path to the Peak. Path to the Peak, of course, here going to be blocking only the Radiant Greninja. Is that Chorus's Experiment? Chorus's Experiment. Looks like the double turbo was discarded. Now, I do know that Ben is playing Super Potion or Hyper Potion, so interesting that he would want to get rid of the double turbos. The double turbos are a good bit of energy, and that's looks like the rolling iron there with the big parasol on the Goodra V-Star for the second knockout of the game, leveling up the prizes 4-4. Dave fanning his Palkia into the discard pile, considering his options. But I think there's going to be one clear attacker coming into play here. Yes, there it is, the Palkia V-Star. So currently, Palkia V-Star's got plus 30 damage. I don't think Dave's even drawn a card yet, has he? Here comes the Crabominable. Energy straight onto the Crabominable V. So the Crabominable V, I believe, does more damage for each damage count already on your opponent's Pokemon. Now, the Palkia currently, I believe, has 1 energy. He's doing 60, 80, 100, 120, 140. Plus the Choice Belt makes it 170. Minus 80 for Iron. I believe that is a 90 damage attack currently. Drizzle's Shady Dealings. Searching the deck. And I think this is where we see some heartbreak for Dave. Now, he's got the Training Court. No, he doesn't. He needs... Yeah, okay, so he actually needs Melanie to get the energy on the active Palkia V. He didn't even check the deck previously to know that he had the Melanie in there. And now, unfortunately, he has attached to the benched Crabominable V. It's a while ago. We're just going to have to accept that that was a magnitude 10 misplay there. Opts instead to take Marnie. Not playing it yet, I do believe. But yeah, I mean, this is going to set Dave back now a whole turn because he just can't hit with the Subspace Swell. Even that 90 damage, I mean, that's it's heartbreak. It's heartbreak to see that. I mean, the 90 damage, if you apply 90 damage into the Crabominable, that is, I believe, a one-hit knockout for Crabominable quite comfortably. Yeah, I mean, what do you do here? You just have to kind of eat your humble pie and accept your errors. And what do? You just pass. Dave here contemplating his life, all his decisions that took him to this moment, forgetting to check to see if the Melanie was in the deck. It's easy done. It's so easy done. Something that Dave did say at the end of the tournament was that it was nice to have something riding on it, because quite often we do play casual, but I think it's nice to have just a little bit riding on it. And here's Ben now dropping that Radiant Gardevoir, which currently actually does nothing because of Pass the Peak, and also getting an Arceus V in play. So and insult to injury there for Dave from Ben using a Melanie to power up the Arceus V. Looks like another rolling iron. Ben does reach for the prize card, but then realise, oh dang, Yeah, I'm not looking out yet. Ben, just pointing at the path to pink. So I think I inquired to just check that Dave didn't use the Radiant Greninja last game, last turn, excuse me. Counting up some subspace swell here. I'm not even going to bother. I think it's, what was it before? It was like 90. So if you add 40 onto that, 130. I've got to say, I think I talked to Ben about this afterwards. I don't know if I agree with putting down the Arceus and the Gardevoir. Just seems like it was feeding the subspace swell. Um, at that moment, it didn't seem like there was any way for Dave to just knock out the Goodra. And there is an echoing horn as well, powering up the subspace swell even more. Something that I would be very, very, very scared of. See, this is the thing as well, because not playing down the Arceus, like Ben knew, because Dave has already done this previously in the set, that he has the echoing horn to power up the subspace well, and Arceus V is the obvious person to put in. Ben a bit confused there, so no, mate, he has played it. He has played it. Looks like going to be a Drizzile there from Dave. The Palkia will have 200 damage on it currently. And there is a training court bumping the path to the peak, so this is going to activate both Radiant Greninja and Radiant Gardevoir. There is that all-important energy for Dave, a turn late, unfortunately. Not always better late than never. In this case, but definitely would have been better on time. We're going to see here a bit of calculation, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 160, 180, 200, 230, without the rolling iron, so 230. I think I've done that right, 230, so is that 150? Irida. Manaphy. Just powering up the subspace swell at this point, and a cross switcher. This is where it gets interesting for Goodra. Obviously, well, I say obviously, cross switching or swapping the Goodra from active is very good for getting rid of the rolling iron 80 damage. Sorry, 80 buffer. So in this case, it looks like Irida into a Shady Dealing is going to give Dave 2 cross switches in hand. I'm going to pause it there. Right, we're back on. All right, so the Shady Dealing has got the cross switcher and a Roxanne. A little bit of thought, a little bit of consideration here. Ben with the trash talking finger. I'm joking, of course, he's not, not really. It looks like, yeah, they're calculating damage. Was I right? 150? Or was it 170? Oh, maybe it's 170 now from the Manaphy going into play. So Crystal Cave putting it down to 100. Is that 130? Yeah, so I think I was right about that. Colress Experiment. No Fatima in this deck, just because it's only the Colress's experiments in play for this version of Goodra, so no abilities get 10 into the discard pile, into the lost zone, excuse me. There's like a switch and I think an Arceus V there going into the discard pile. Done it again, into the lost zone. And Rolling Iron is going to knock out that second Palkia V-Star. Chloe up in the top corner there, coming in to watch the end of this set. I'll say end of this set. I mean, it's 4-2 currently. Who says it's the end yet? Dave just checking the discard pile, looking for options here. Might well be fresh out. Now, right now, let's just theory mon for a second. Imagine the Pal Pad into the Shady Dealings, into the Melanie, into the Knockout. I mean, could you ask for better than that? And I don't think that's going to be a possibility for Dave at this time. Looks like they're going for the quick shooting Inteleon here. And opting to quick shoot the Goodra and then Roxanne. So both players shuffle their hands into deck. Ben will get a meager 2 and Dave will get 6. Of course, you could say really Ben's going to get 3 because he's going to draw a card. So 5 and 6. Ben's still shuffling his hand, his deck. Shuffling his deck all over his hand. Okay, so I think we can see a scoop up net there for Dave as well as a VIP pass, battle VIP pass. There was a scoop up net, yeah. So it looks like it's going to be resetting the system, the cycle all over again for the Sobbles. Oh, there's a Temple of Sinnoh from Dave. No energy. Oh my god. And what happened there? You see, okay, so I don't really see what happened there with Ben sort of picking up his hand, but we can see here that he just kind of attached a double turbo and then went for the hyper potion. However, Dave has just realised that he does in fact have Temple of Sinnoh in place, so it's only 1 energy. So Ben is just going to put that back into his hand and think about what he's doing. Now I know in a more high stakes game, should we say, Dave would probably be more inclined to say, well, you've attached it now. You know, at the very least, you need to attach it and make sure you've got the damage, of course, back on the Goodra. So that Temple of Sinnoh proven to be absolutely massive here for Dave. Evolution Incense for Ben. Struggling to pick up what's left of his deck there. Didn't know it was that difficult, Ben. Oh, failed the search? Failed the search. There's no Arceus V-Star. Where's his Arceus V-Stars? Yo, that is just not good. Is he double turbo onto the Arceus? Rolling Thunder? No, Rolling Iron, excuse me. What's Rolling Thunder? Is that an attack? Is that anything? Dave just pointing at the Melanie in his discard in his prizes. Oh, but it looks like, yeah. So it looks like I think Dave's accepted. He doesn't have any energy. He doesn't have any way to get energy. He's got no Melanie. He has no way of bringing this back and concedes the point there. Shane the Temple of Sinnoh couldn't have done more. But that was a great game to finish off that event. Longest set as well. It was good. I've got nothing more to say really than it was good. So well done, gentlemen. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Feedback is always welcome. Apologies if there's a little weird skippy jump sort of closest to the end there. I just received quite an important phone call that I had to take, and I didn't want to go back and start the whole thing all over again. It wouldn't have felt as organic. So thank you for bearing with me. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all again very soon. Thank you. Goodbye.